Snow and tension filled the streets of Boston in March of 1770. A crowd gathered around British soldiers. Voices rose, insults were thrown. Then a shot rang out. When the smoke cleared, the first man lying in the street wasn't a politician, or a soldier, or a founding father. It was a sailor of African and Native American descent named Crispus Attucks, and his death would ignite a revolution. When most people learn about the American Revolution, the story usually begins with famous names: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Paul Revere. But the road to independence didn't start with speeches or declarations. It started with a violent confrontation in the streets of Boston. And the first person killed in that moment of resistance was a man history rarely talks about: Crispus Attucks. Very little is known about Attucks' early life. Historians believe he was born around 1723. His father was likely of African descent, while his mother is believed to have been Wampanoag Native American. His last name may even come from the Natick word for deer. What we do know is that Attucks likely began life in slavery. In 1750, a man named William Brown placed a newspaper advertisement in Massachusetts offering a 10-pound reward for the return of an escaped enslaved man named Crispus. Many historians believe that man was Crispus Attucks. If that's true, Attucks successfully escaped slavery, and then spent the next 2 decades living under the radar. Some historians believe he may have used an alias. For years, he may have gone by the name Michael Johnson, allowing him to avoid being captured and returned to bondage. By the time he arrived in Boston, Attucks had built a life working on the sea. Attucks was described as a tall and imposing man, standing around 6 feet 2 inches, unusually tall for the 18th century. He worked as a mariner and sailor, possibly even a whaler. Port cities like Boston were places where sailors, dock workers, laborers, and merchants from many backgrounds mixed together. But by the late 1760s, Boston had become one of the most politically volatile cities in the British colonies. The British government had stationed soldiers in the city to enforce unpopular taxes and maintain order. Instead, their presence only made tensions worse. Colonists resented the soldiers. Workers complained that British troops were taking their jobs. Arguments and fights became increasingly common. By March 5, 1770, Boston was already on edge. That evening, a confrontation began outside the custom house. A crowd gathered. Some colonists shouted insults. Others threw snowballs, ice, and debris. British soldiers raised their muskets. No one knows exactly who fired the first shot. But within seconds, the soldiers opened fire into the crowd. 5 men were killed, and the first to fall was Crispus Attucks. Witnesses described Attucks standing near the front of the crowd during the confrontation. Some accounts suggest he was holding a stick or club. Others say he was simply confronting the soldiers. Either way, when the gunfire began, Attucks took 2 musket balls to the chest. He died almost instantly. The other victims of the Boston Massacre were Samuel Gray, James Caldwell, Samuel Maverick, and Patrick Carr. But Crispus Attucks quickly became the most symbolic figure of the event. Colonial leaders used the massacre as powerful evidence of British oppression. Paul Revere even created a famous engraving of the event that spread across the colonies. The revolution had not officially begun, but the spark had been lit. The British soldiers involved in the shooting were eventually put on trial. Their defense attorney was a young lawyer named John Adams, who would later become the 2nd President of the United States. During the trial, Adams portrayed Attucks as a dangerous instigator. He described him as leading what he called a motley rabble, in order to argue that the soldiers had acted in self-defense. The strategy worked. Most of the soldiers were acquitted. Even in death, Attucks had become a controversial figure. To some, he was a troublemaker. To others, he was the first martyr of the American Revolution. In the days after the massacre, the victims were buried together in Boston's Granary Burying Ground, one of the city's most prestigious cemeteries. Crispus Attucks was buried alongside the 4 other victims. In the centuries that followed, Abolitionists and civil rights leaders would point to Attucks' story as proof that Black Americans had been part of the struggle for freedom from the very beginning. Yet for many years, his role in the revolution was often minimized or forgotten. Even when Boston attempted to build a monument honoring him in 1888, some historical societies opposed it, arguing that Attucks had been a villain rather than a hero. History, like memory, can be complicated. But today, Crispus Attucks is widely remembered as the first casualty of the American Revolution, a runaway from slavery, a sailor, and the first man to die in the long fight that would ultimately create the United States. Stories like this are part of a history that often goes untold, and sometimes the people who shape the course of a nation are the ones we hear about the least. If you enjoyed this story, a new Untold Black Stories episode drops every Tuesday.